UFC 315 has just taken place and JDM is now your new UFC welterweight champion. Really, we should be all out in the streets right now celebrating, parading that Bal Muhammad is no longer the UFC welterweight champion. However, I'm hurting right now, to be honest. Now that JDM is UFC welterweight champion, that means we now will never, ever see the dream matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria.
Bruh.
Which is heartbreaking, gut-wrenching. I'm hurt, if you can't tell. Now we're going to get Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira at International Fight Week. But let's get right on to talking about the card. So there were 12 fights in total with 4 finishes on the card. Let's start right away with the main event in JDM. What the fuck is going on here? Let's close that. That's a horror picture. Bal Muhammad 2 times. Let's close that. Starting off with the main event, Bal Muhammad versus JDM. Now, I said JDM would win. That is exactly what happened. Now, Bal Muhammad did lose, and this is probably the most entertaining Bal Muhammad fight he's ever had outside of his Vicente Luque 1 matchup. If you don't know what happened in that, go back and watch it. I'll let you in a sneak peek. Bal Muhammad got knocked out in the first round. But yeah, this matchup, just quickly, my breakdown on this fight was literally spot on to how this fight played out. I said Bal Muhammad would fall too in love with his Canelo hands and that he would look to try and outstrike JDM, leading to JDM being able to outstrike him, win majority of the striking exchanges and beat Bal Muhammad. I said TKO, I was wrong. Bal Muhammad has some crazy chin on him, in fairness to him. But yeah, JDM just outstruck him. What I want to know is, when was Bal Muhammad's team going to say to him, you need to grapple with this guy. You cannot outstrike him. Now, don't get me wrong, Bal Muhammad done well on the feet against JDM, much better than I thought he was going to. In fact, he was landing some really good combinations. Early on, he was working his kicks in there well, constantly switching stances. But JDM was just clearly the better striker. Bal Muhammad did have some success, yes, but when both guys were letting their shots go and just looking at the majority of the striking exchanges, JDM was just outstriking him clear as day. Now, Bal Muhammad did land some nice strikes like the double jab right hand in the first round that caught JDM, but his corner said to him after the first round, I remember it, you're a bit slow, maybe work on this, work on that, right? I understand Bal Muhammad, he said, I'm not going to shoot a takedown, which I thought he was lying about, in fairness to him. Turns out he really wasn't until the later half of the fight. But after round 2 or even during round 2, when they can see Bal Muhammad is losing these striking exchanges, where's the urgency whenever he comes back to the corner to say, you're 2 rounds down now, you need to grapple with this guy, you cannot outstrike him at all, you can't. And near the end of the fight, in the 5th round, I know Khabib Nurmagomedov said that Bal Muhammad had the best cardio in the UFC, but JDM literally beat the fight out of Bal Muhammad as the fight went on. Now, Bal Muhammad showed how tough and durable he was in there. He stayed in there to the very bitter end because JDM was landing some really, really nice shots on him, the combinations. Bal Muhammad also showed that he actually does have more than feathers in his fist, because he did do damage to JDM. JDM's eye was really swollen up badly, but yeah, I just don't understand that. I know Bal Muhammad said he was going to just strike with him, but I didn't believe it. And I actually can't believe that there was no urgency from his corner to be grapple with this guy. Because now that Bal Muhammad has lost the belt, let's just be honest, Bal Muhammad will never fight for a UFC title again. Ever. This guy will never fight for the belt again. Now, he did start mixing in his grappling. Now, I think it was maybe, was it the 2nd or 3rd round? He did shoot a takedown and JDM kind of met him down. I don't know why I'm pretending I'm JDM, but had a high guard, met down with him with his head to kind of stuff the takedown. It was kind of a weird takedown defense that JDM was using. We've seen it throughout his other fights. We've seen him do it against Gilbert Burns as well in there. But yeah, Bal Muhammad, then as the fight went on in the championship rounds, he started to mix up his grappling. We've seen that in round 5 where he did start to grapple pretty well with JDM, but this was a comfortable JDM win. JDM at points entered flow state in there. JDM was just comfortably piecing up Bal Muhammad on the feet. I'm genuinely shocked that his corner didn't say to him to make the adjustment. Like, going into round 3, they should have been like, Bilal, wrestle with this guy. Wrestle with him. Shoot for a single. Or shoot for a double. If you can't get a double, shoot for the single. Then clinch up, get a body lock, get him against the cage. Try and just mix in your grappling. Now, the fact that Bal Muhammad didn't do that really ended up showing us a really good matchup. But, yeah, JDM beat him. JDM's striking is so clean. Like, one of the best strikers in the UFC. And when I go down and look at some of the other guys in the welterweight division, like, I think we've been conned for so many years in this division. I'm just going to be honest. Because, like, Usman at the top for so long. Colby at the top for so long. Even though Colby was never really champion. But they all were like, if Usman wasn't around here, it definitely will be Colby Covington. And then it wasn't, because then Leon beat him. And then we're like, fuck, Leon's so good. And then you're like, well, nah, Leon's actually pretty ass. It's like, I think the welterweight division has been built on lies. JDM, going through the division, JDM beats Shavkat, JDM beats Usman. I even think JDM would beat a prime Kamaru Usman, I'm just being honest.
Bruh.
I'm being honest, like, Usman in the form of his life in his title reign, I think JDM would have beat him. He looks so good in there. Now, the matchup against Islam Makhachev, look, I am desperate to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. I hope we do like a 180 and Islam is just like, okay, brother, let's go. What does this belt mean? Anytime, anywhere. Now, relax. I'm not. Islam Makhachev isn't under my desk speaking to you now. It's still me, but I know that accent was really spot on. These were maybe like, holy fucking shit, this guy knows Islam. I don't. It's just an accent. But yeah, JDM versus Islam's going to be an interesting one. I do think Islam's grappling though is just going to overwhelm JDM. To be honest, Islam will grapple with him. Islam won't just try and stand with him. Islam will grapple with him, and Islam will do good on the feet against JDM. Although JDM, I think, will win a lot of the striking exchanges against Islam. Islam is a really good kickboxer, but Islam struggles in the boxing range, in my opinion, and that is a hole in the striking defense, especially when he's in the boxing range. I think that's where Islam is there to be hit and hurt. So I think he will grapple heavy with JDM. But yeah, what a performance from JDM. Fair play to Bal Muhammad. He stuck to his word, kinda. Showed how tough and durable he was. Bilal, remember the title reign. Muhammad, shout out to him. Valentina Shevchenko, Manon Fiorot. The fact Valentina Shevchenko was an underdog was just insane to me. Yeah, she won the fight, broke Manon Fiorot's nose. I don't really want to spend much time talking about this fight because it was ass. Right. Let me see, can I open this up? Yeah. Jose Aldo versus Zahabi. Aldo won this fight, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be honest here. I know some people are saying, like, when you look at the total strikes, yes, Zahabi landed more. I thought Aldo won rounds 1 and round 2. I thought round 2 was competitive. And then round 3 was just chaos. Like, round 3, Jose Aldo hit him with an Messi, goal! Hit him with a volley. Like, hit him with some serious volleys. Oh, Zahabi didn't get knocked out cold by that soccer kick by Jose Aldo. I'll never understand. That was one of the craziest shits I've ever seen. Ignore that voice break, that's just how excited I am. But yeah, when Aldo kicked him like that, I don't know how Zahabi stayed up. Respect to him. But yeah, I thought Aldo took rounds 1 and 2. He gassed himself out badly. Like, I thought Aldo, I was still confident Aldo was going to win. But I thought Aldo was in serious trouble. Like, Aldo technically is way better than Zahabi. But see, when I seen Aldo on the scale and how bad he looked, I was like, Aldo's in trouble here. The fact they've had to change weight, Aldo's not had a good weight cut. This is not a good sign. Zahabi done really good work in there, to be honest. Round 3, he should have disengaged. Yes, he was landing some good grounding points with the big elbow and stuff. He busted Aldo up, but he really should have disengaged with him, because I think if he had got Aldo back to his feet, Aldo was looking for a way out, to be honest. In my opinion, like, constantly looking at the clock and just holding on for dear life. I think if Zahabi had got him back up onto the feet, I think he could have got a standing TKO, or maybe Aldo might have crumbled under the pressure, because Zahabi was putting on a lot of pressure. But I thought Aldo won that. I don't know, am I delusional? I might be, because I thought Aldo beat Mario Batista, but I think everyone agrees he beat Mario Batista. But like, I think Aldo won this fight. Like, I am confident that Jose Aldo beat Zahabi 2 rounds to 1, because round 3 wasn't a 10-8 round either, because Aldo arguably nearly had him out as well. Zahabi definitely won round 3. Round 2 was close. Round 1 was Aldo. I think Aldo won. This run of Aldo has been wasted, by the way, bringing him back. Jonathan Martinez, Mario Batista, and now Zahabi. What should have happened was Dominic Cruz, Henry Cejudo, Umar Nurmagomedov. Dominic Cruz, Umar Nurmagomedov, Henry Cejudo. That should have been the run for Aldo. Instead, we've got this shit. But yeah, that soccer kick Aldo landed probably highlighted the night for me, to be honest. Alexia Grasso lost to Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva is probably going to win the belt in women's flyweight, to be honest. She is just that good. I think she is the best. Obviously, you've got Valentina Shevchenko, but I think Natalia Silva beats her. Benoit St. Denise versus Cal Propelic. Benoit St. Denise, when did this guy start taking slowing down pills? Why was he so slow? I understand he's taken so much damage in his last 2 fights. He was like the Moicano round 1 has permanently scarred me with how bad he got beat up. But he looks so like the fact he didn't get Cal Propelic out of there in the first round is mind blowing to me. Like at points he was stalling in the grappling with him. Cal Propelic literally didn't do anything at all in round 1 at all. Like he was literally sitting there like. Take me, pause. Like it was just like get me out of there, finish me. Wait, like what am I saying here? But you know what I mean. Like Benoit St. Denise should have got him out of there in the first round. Cal Propelic was just a sitting duck. In round 2, like Benoit St. Denise would have got finished inside 1 round against Joel Alvarez. There, I'm being honest. If he needs to people will break under Benoit St. Denis pressure because he is so heavy with it, and I would understand it more. See if he was like high and tight guard, moving in and like knees the body, ripping body shots, overhands over the top, shooting in, just keeping this heavy pace on, body kick, but had a high guard, it would be so much better for him. But the fact he has his hands so low, like he's winging shots up from his hips, and we've seen that in the Poirier matchup. Like someone with decent level striking is going to be able to land on you, flush and hurt you. Cal Propelic obviously isn't that guy. He's not good enough to be in the UFC. He wasn't first time around. He's not good enough to be in there now. I'm glad to see Benoit St. Denis got the win because I do like watching Benoit St. Denis fight. But yeah, he needs to do better. I don't think he's as good as what we all thought he was. Moving on down the card, Mike Malott got a nice win. Jasmine Judovicius got a first round sub over Jessica Andrade. I actually done really well on picks here. I think I got 8 right, 4 wrong, which is pretty good for me, to be honest. Kutalaba, I thought he was hard done by, to be honest, but I'm not going to scream robbery. Navajo Sterling beat Ivan Arslan. I said this in my closer look video. I know I said in my prediction I thought he was going to win by KO, but I did say in my closer look video that Ivan Arslan has only ever been stopped once by TKO KO, and Navajo Sterling, I don't think he's as big of a puncher as what we all think he is or thought he was, but good performance. Marc-Andre Barriault, Bruno Silva needs to retire from the sport. Daniel Santos got the win. I thought he won all 3 rounds. Beksat Almacan, great first round win over Brad Katona. I thought he was going to win, but I didn't think he'd win that early, but showed that he does carry serious punch power. But that was UFC 315. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Islam Makhachev JDM is next, which means we're not going to get Ilia Topuria versus Islam. But yeah, let me know your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for the support, and as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all again in the next one.